Going on, guys? What's good? What's great? And what's going on? I said, hold on, let me say that one more time. Y'all niggas must not have heard me. I said, what's good?
What's great?
What's going on?
How you guys doing today? Welcome to the first ever episode of the Garage Podcast.
Woo!
I'm joined by my two amazing co-hosts, Jay, Princess Wave, and Omad or
Hey.
Domo, depending on if you're dyslexic.
Oh, that's,
Hey, that was good. That was good.
that's how we want to start it for
See what I
the
did there?
handicap community.
All right, so let's just hop right into it, guys. We're feeling good. We're feeling great out here. So let's go right into the first topic. Our first topic is going to be shit. What is it going to be? Matter of fact. Let's start with get your health right. Matter of fact.
So we always started off.
Always going to start off every episode with get your health right. Let you guys know a little bit of insight about how we're living our lives, what we do as normal people to make ourselves feel better, to get into a better state of mind, to not only progress mentally and physically, but also spiritually.
That's great.
And so, without further ado, our first topic concerning get your health right is going to be marijuana.
Marijuana,
Yes.
the weed smoke.
And being in the 420 state of California, we're legal now.
Nice.
Not very many other states can say that, but we can. So I'm gonna start off with Domo.
Hey,
yeah.
okay, I get
What's
to go
going on? I'm
first.
gonna start off with
Alright,
you.
So,
What introduced you
okay.
first off? What
To-
introduced
to-
you?
you
Yeah.
going down
Was it the block?
No. I was actually I'll keep this. Look, I was actually against weed, coming up in high school. The first time that I ever smoked weed was in the 11th grade. It was so crazy. I was so against it, but I was
11th grade. That's pretty late.
yeah.
That's pretty late in California.
But I was so against it, but I was like, how could I knock it? I ain't really did it. Everybody else doing. So I just tried it. The first time I smoked weed was out of a Listerine bottle. All right? I didn't even get high.
A Listerine bottle.
Hey, let's not judge, please.
Hey,
Sorry,
no
it's just
judgment.
that-
No
it's-
judgment.
Man,
I wasn't
Okay.
getting. I was maybe
There could have been-
apple.
There's an apple. I thought that was my
And
first thing. You know,
orange?
something more holistic. You know what I mean? You went straight for the
Something
for the
without
plastic.
alcohol in it. Yeah,
Plastic,
straight for the plastic. Like,
That's a lot of chemicals in you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look,
that's,
P.
Okay,
So let's
okay.
get back on this. Get your health right.
Okay.
So I don't smoke often, but I'm not against it now, especially now. If I do smoke, then it's usually by myself. I never got used to
Okay.
it where I'm smoking in social settings just because I don't know. I still get that little paranoid feeling.
so you
know what I'm
don't
saying?
subscribe to the stigma that people who smoke alone are weird. I don't either personally, but I would say that I've heard that a lot. You know that.
Yeah, no. I don't think it is, man. For me, honestly, I use smoking marijuana as a tool, and I don't
Yeah.
do it much, but I use it as a tool.
Okay.
I use it to self-reflect. I use it to get my mind right. I use it to focus, slow down,
Get
like
your
when I
health
need
right.
to
Some would say.
get my health right. Literally, if it's not recreational, it's a great tool to do some of those sorts of things. That's what I use it for.
All right, fantastic. Without further ado, Mr. J.
Okay, so wait. So are we going to first time now? Is that how we're doing it? How
First
he
time,
said-
whatever,
Man.
whatever brings to your mind first thoughts about marijuana.
You know, I think it's just I just don't like how there's such a stigma against it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Because my whole thing is that I think everybody has their own thing,
Mhm.
right? Some people, their thing is, they smoke weed, right? Some people are they just like to drink, you know what I mean? And some people are, everyone's different. They have their thing, you know what I mean? And a thing could be
100%.
could not even just be a substance. It could just be something that they go to a lot,
hobby,
something
a
that they
task,
ingest, you know what I
anything.
mean?
Yeah.
Anything like that, right? So I never liked how there was such a negative stigma against it. And I can see why there was negative stigma against it, right? Because who was actively using marijuana, you know what I mean? During the
Everybody.
80s and the 90s when it,
Potheads.
you know what I mean? When it was looked like rappers and all that, and I guess and you know what I mean? And it was if you did it it was you were a criminal, and it was you were a lower member of society kind of thing. But honestly, I mean, it's with anybody though. It's okay, if I smoke a joint, I'm terrible and I'm ruining my health. But homeboy is drinking a big gulp, 66 ounces, you know what I mean? Enough to like,
Pure sugar.
enough to, like a gallon's worth of Coca-Cola.
Like if
right?
you took out all the sugar from it, you could put it in your hand.
You
and
know what
just
I'm trying to
eat
say?
sugar.
But that he's okay though.
Yeah.
He's fine.
He's fine.
He's good. But me, I smoke a doobie, and I
or
you know,
even to
like,
go
take
to
me
the
jail.
next level, to alcohol as a substance release. Comparatively, I think I saw a study that was like 40 alcohol is 40 times more deadly than marijuana on average.
That's a lot more deadly
That-
than
That's
what it is.
That's
you know
a
what I
cool
mean?
little bit, and don't get me wrong, that's not going to stop me from drinking. But it is food for thought,
Yeah. So for me, it's just like like I just like how there's a lot of health benefits to it. And
Very
like
much so.
people aren't realizing that. Like for example, like there was like I think I saw like a docu of like a boy who had a lot of seizures.
Yeah.
He was just
I think I've seen the same thing.
Yeah, like it's just that was his thing. Like he just had a lot of seizures, and that
Yeah.
was part of his condition. And he would have like 8 to 10 like a day,
A day.
and he would take CBD oil, right? Like cannabis oil or whatever he was taking, and it went down from 8 to 10 times a day to like 1 or 2 a month.
And
Right.
then whenever he did have seizures, I think if we're referring to the same case, whenever he did have seizures, I think they took a video of it one time.
Yeah.
And then they videoed them putting
Like the
THC
oil, like
doses,
giving it to him,
yeah,
and seeing him
yeah,
how he calms down and he becomes like super like normal and
in
like
almost an instant.
and really
Well,
functional.
especially for somebody having a seizure in practically an instant.
You get what I'm trying
You
to
know?
say? So honestly, for me, it's like if you're not like directly like destroying your life or like hurting other people, like you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
So if
feel
you need
that.
to, if you gotta smoke, relieve a little stress, and that's your thing, and it's not because anything. Okay, let me reword this. Too much of anything is bad.
Of course.
Clearly,
Moderation
right?
is
Like
key.
we all know
Moderation
some
is
stoners, right? We
Yeah.
all know some potheads, right? We all know people like like literally Pineapple Express.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
literally.
Like James Franco. Like that's
Cannot stand a second without being high.
like that's literally like that's 24/7. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? 420, 24/7. So in moderation, right? So I feel like if that's your thing, that's what you need to relieve some stress, anxiety, whatever it could be. That's you. You know what I mean? Who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say is that too much of anything is bad. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
just me. That's just me.
What
Yeah,
about you,
100%.
Yeah, how about you? Yeah, man. How about you?
I like weed. I like it. It's kind of my thing.
Cool. Okay.
I got into weed. Like I really got into smoking. Hi, mom. I really got into smoking like probably like right at the end of my senior year.
Okay.
I'd smoked before, a couple times here and there, like probably some bullshit weed with some homies, nothing too crazy.
Some
like,
oregano.
out of a little I think it was like out of a mechanical pencil with like a little.
A mechanical pencil.
Yes. So
I think-
Wow,
I
that's-
judged you too soon.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, I've done
I'm
that
sorry.
before.
But
That's
yeah, it was like
crazy.
like one of those like the nice ones though, like like the ones that have
Oh, the
like
nice
not
ones.
full metal, but if I put a magnet to it, it'll stay. And so it was one of those, and it's just we smoke real quick. Just I barely really feel anything. Like I really, if I look back on my experiences with it before I was really a young adult, it wasn't very clear. Like I was just trying to act high to be cool more than anything else.
So you would like hit it and have it in your mouth and not actually inhale it and be like,
No, I wouldn't inhale it.
oh,
no,
you
I
wouldn't-
would
okay,
really be
'cause
trying.
I know a lot of people who do
Yeah,
that,
no,
you know
no,
what
I
mean?
would
Like,
really
they'd
be
like,
trying to get high.
Oh, okay,
But
I see,
like
I
they
see.
probably just had the shittiest weed and were smoking out of a fucking pencil. So I'm not really gonna get that high. But I remember the first time I smoked, I fell asleep on a workout bench.
That's not good. That's a
Yeah.
public
Wait,
area.
where were you
That's
smoking?
No,
Smoking
not
at?
a regular workout bench, like
Oh.
at the gym or something. It was
Oh,
at my
okay.
homie's house in his garage.
oh, okay. I
Hey.
thought you were like
It was
LA.
at the garage.
I thought you were
yeah.
like an LA Fitness.
No,
just
I didn't
assed
go to
out,
LA Fit for
just,
my first time
just
smoking.
deceased
no.
in front of like 60 people. Like this guy is not doing okay. We gotta call 911.
in the middle of a rep, like, all right.
He's going too hard.
Knock
He's
out.
he's putting in work so hard. He literally got assed out at the bench.
no. I was at my
that's
homie's
dedication.
house, and this was this was a gym bench that wasn't even in use. Like they're not really using it. Like we all just smoked, and I fell asleep on like the first thing I could lay down on, basically. That
Wow.
wasn't the floor. But
That's
after
not
that,
good.
I really got to it. Marijuana helped me know myself. You know, because I'm a really
Okay.
yeah, I'm a constant thinker. That's what I am. I'm an only child, so
Okay.
along with that territory comes the territory of constantly having to think to entertain yourself. Because I don't have
Oh, I
somebody
see.
to talk to.
Mhm.
You know, most of the times it's literally just me in my room, and if there's not some form of entertainment, i.e., video games, TV, homework, etc., I have to think about the entertainment myself. I have to.
Sure.
You have to create your own
Sure.
version of entertainment as an only child, and I know only childs out there will probably not probably 100% relate to that. And so with that being the case, when I started smoking, I believe amplifies whoever you are already. You know, it takes what you have at a base, a substance, and it expands it. If there's any insecurities, any worries, the good, the bad, it takes everything and it multiplies it. You know,
That's true.
and which makes it a very unique drug. I've done a cool amount of drugs. A lot of drugs put you in other places that they want you to be. Marijuana puts you where you are exactly, and it lets you know. At least for me.
Okay.
So with that being the case,
I
it really
see that.
just
I see
yeah,
that.
it really helped me rationalize like where I was in life and what I was doing, and that's why I appreciate it because I'm along with the fact that I do have depression and I'm somebody who has who goes through that, and that it does help me with that as well. I enjoy the different outlook on life I'm able to perceive due to the marijuana.
Right.
You know? And yeah, that's really where I'm at. I try not to smoke too much.
Again, moderation.
Moderation,
is
you know?
key.
I'm not very good with that, if I'm going to be honest. I'm not high all day, but I could smoke less. I could.
I mean, as along with the good things that it does for your mind, that it does for your health, it's also fun too. So it's like
Yeah, it also is a release,
Yeah.
if anything else.
Mhm.
100%. And with that being said, I think we're gonna wrap up this and
Okay.
just move straight on to the next topic.
Sure.
And I believe the next topic is I got a little story for you guys.
Oh shit!
So this is a topic I like to call "See What Happened Was."
See what happened was.
Yes, and if you a nigga, you already know where this is going, right? And we're gonna do this.
I
I'm
guess
gonna
I
switch
don't-
this up.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
you have
I'm
no
just-
idea. Yeah,
Back
I'm
over my
just
ears
leave
for this
Jay out.
one.
I'm not even gonna
No,
tell
I
him
just-
to.
I don't know.
You gonna
I'm just
show
okay.
you.
Go. Yeah. Go on.
Yeah,
go
no,
on,
I'm
go
just
ahead.
you just gonna figure it out. Well, as
Go
you
ahead,
go, I'm
go
not even
ahead.
gonna take time to explain it to you.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go on. Go on.
But really, so we're gonna do this a little differently, than you might have heard, like kind of this instant. We're gonna do it. I like to call this the M. Night Shyamalan.
The who?
The M. Night Shyamalan.
You know who that
It's
is?
where you start. He's a very famous
director?
movie director.
Yeah, really famous film
Life
director.
of Pi. What else does M. Night Shyamalan direct?
I
Like
couldn't
it
tell you.
literally,
I couldn't tell you. I
almost
couldn't
every
tell you.
Glass.
I know he's a good. Yes, yeah,
Glass.
yeah. A lot of good
that
films.
whole series. A really mind.
I don't really watch movies.
Mind
yeah,
benders,
it's a
yeah,
real
a lot-
mind.
A lot of mind
fuck
benders
kinda
for
movie.
sure. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
benders.
yeah, and that's
for
not
sure.
really where I want to
Like
go
some
with
Black
this.
Mirror shit.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, he's just really out there. You
You
know what I
could
mean?
say
Like,
that
he really
Black
puts himself
Mirror-
out there. Yeah,
Okay.
You
for
could say
film.
that Black Mirror could be a descendant of his influence, 100%. But I call this the M. Night Shyamalan approach because I'm gonna start out in the middle and the most important part of the story, and then we're gonna go all the way back to the front. Like it
Okay.
doesn't matter. 25 weeks earlier or fucking whatever. So, how do I say this? I'll just be honest. Fuck it. So my ex sent this girl I was talking to a picture of my dick in her mouth.
Mm.
Yeah.
We're closing our eyes.
Ouch.
Are we closing our ears? I said closing our eyes. Are we
Ouch.
closing our ears? Kids, the 18 and younger who just heard what this man
Yeah,
said.
tune off.
That is pretty
Tune off.
foul.
Now's your
That's
time.
pretty
to,
foul. That's the 18 plus rating. I'm sure there might be a parental
yeah,
advisory.
I would hear
Are
the
we
rest
gonna
of
get
that
an
story.
ESERB rating?
That's
No,
pretty bad.
I wanna hear that.
Are we gonna get?
A lot of my
For sure.
church kids are gonna probably see this, so that's good. That's
I need
Yeah,
to hear
this
the
is
rest
this
of
is where you turn off.
You
now.
probably should, turn it off now. Anyway, yeah,
100%.
keep it rolling, man.
So-
You grabbed our attention now with that. So
So I'll start at the very beginning of the story.
Okay.
My
As you
girlfriend before the wonderful girlfriend I have now, who's sitting in this room. Shout out to Jasmine. I love you, baby. Yeah, super gay. The girlfriend I had before this, she was not the best person in the world.
Okay.
as I'm sure we could all say about all of our exes.
Okay.
But she was, to put it in a word, toxic. And I'm not gonna use a name. I'm not gonna use names because I don't want to put this person out on blast.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
you know,
good.
People that I watch will probably know who I'm talking about, and if you know, you know. And if you don't, DM me. But seriously, we had ended our relationship. It wasn't a bad ending to a relationship. Probably the best ending I've had to a relationship, like, to date. So
like it was real good terms.
yeah, good
Like
terms.
we're friends. We could grab a cup of coffee
If need be.
if need be.
If need be,
If
yeah.
just to catch up, see how things are.
100%. And like, she's very, very much stressed because I was the one who ended the relationship. I wasn't feeling like I wanted to be in that anymore.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And she understood, and she said like, "Hey, I just want to like at least stay your friend because me in a relationship, I'm your best friend. You know, like, we share everything, we talk about everything, we do everything together. I'm your best friend."
So how the hell did you have to get to the picture? And
Yeah,
the thing?
yeah,
I'm
let's
like,
get to that.
My bad.
Yeah, we gotta get to that.
This is
Yeah,
why,
that's-
That's
you're
crucial.
right.
It's the M.
The
Night
audience is
Shyamalan.
waiting. The
You're
audience
right.
This
is.
is why it's the M. Night Shyamalan. Right?
People
So,
are waiting.
We didn't end too bad. I'll make a long story less long. And then one day, after we had broken up, and I had started talking to other people, started seeing other people. Naturally, this is how life goes on. I had gone out on a date with this girl. That we're gonna call her Girl B, to separate, and
Just a letter.
not to be
Not even the name,
not
just a
to
letter.
not to
Just
be
the B.
demeaning to girls like their numbers or objects, but just for the identification
Just
of
B.
those
Just girl B.
Okay. individuals, to say succinct. So Girl B, I was talking to, we went out on this date. It was a really cool date. Just went to go get some food, nothing crazy. After I dropped her off back at her house, because I'm a gentleman, I literally on my way home. So I have not been out of this girl's presence, Girl B, for at least 15 minutes now.
Oh, shit.
And my ex calls me. And she calls me because, you know, we said we'd stay friends and communicate, talk every once in a while. So she called me and she was like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Yo, before we like get into this convo, like, I'm gonna kind of need you not to hit me up no more."
Damn.
Yeah, no, I didn't say it like any rude way, but like, hey,
But I thought you guys ended up as like good friends.
yeah, we are, but for the time being, I would, and this is not to say anything about our friendship, but if the way I thought about it was, if I'm with this girl, if I'm
Yeah.
with Girl B,
Right.
and Girl A hits me up, and I have to explain to Girl B that that's my ex,
Sure.
it's gonna be a problem.
A little messy. Yeah, I can see that.
A little
No,
messy.
I see that.
At-
No,
at-
I feel
At
you.
the
No,
very
yeah,
least,
yeah.
just gonna be an issue that I would like to avoid.
Okay. No,
So I tell her,
that's
hey,
fair.
I tell my ex, hey, after this convo, we're just gonna have to, like, you know, not really speak for very long, like for a cool minute,
Okay.
you know, and at least until I hash everything out.
No, sure.
And things are steady and we're cool, you know. It's not like I don't want to be your friend, but
Yeah.
I
What happened after?
So she messages the girl on Instagram.
Pause.
Yes.
How?
So all right.
where
I
was
made
the
two
link?
mistakes.
Where
I made-
was the link?
I
How
made
did
two
she?
mistakes in this
Okay.
conversation. Thank you for leading me to this.
Okay.
I made two mistakes in this conversation. My first mistake was I was really excited about like talking to this girl, so I told my ex her name.
What the fuck?
Oh, X, is there
Yes.
one of those buttons you press?
Yes.
X on
I
America's
shoulda had
Got
a
Talent?
V8,
America's
like,
Got Talent.
honestly,
You got an X for that one.
100%.
That's an X for you.
And my next ex comes when I told her I just followed her on Instagram.
Okay. That's it. There you go.
I might as well just let her to her
so you
doorstep.
set yourself up in a way.
I might as well just let her to her doorstep. Honestly,
What
those
was
are the mistakes
reason,
I
though?
made.
Why'd you tell her?
I was excited.
to tell the ex?
No, I was
About the
excited.
new girl?
I was excited to tell anybody. I hadn't told anybody yet.
Oh,
you know, I
shit,
was
alright.
keeping
Oh
it
yeah,
low.
I get it.
You know, we went on our first date. It went well. Somebody just called
So
me
you
15
told
minutes
your
later.
ex.
So I told her. You know, I thought we were friends, man. I thought we were friends. That's
And
what
then-
you tell your friends.
And then shortly after this had
That's what you
all.
tell your friends, right?
In
Your
short-
friends, not your exes.
So shortly
Yeah,
after
so-
this had all cultivated. And
all
this is all
cultivated in her mind that so she knows she has her name.
Right.
She knows she followed me. So
Right.
I wake up the next morning, maybe 4:30 in the morning, to a phone call.
That's pretty early. Wow.
Yeah, very early.
That's
To a phone
that's
call.
a late night Drake.
Mm-hmm.
Take Care album thoughts right there. 4:30. That's
Some shit must have been going through her mind.
some Take Care album.
100%.
Wait, was it Girl B?
Yes.
That's that
Oh,
Marvin's
shit.
room.
Girl B had called me, and that's strange because we weren't at the calling phase yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
We
them
just went
doing
on.
it wrong.
I haven't talked to you.
Doing it wrong.
Especially
Take Care
at
vibes.
4:30 in the morning. I didn't
For
say
sure.
shit to
Wow.
you. You know, and
That's-
I'm not even thinking about my ex.
That's
'Cause I'm
some
like,
weekend.
and,
That's weekend time.
and in my head at this moment too, I think I'm in the clear. I think I'm a good guy. I'm like, yo, I went and I told my ex, hey, like, if you could not, like, blah blah blah, try to get ahead of the curve and be a good guy. I thought I was in the clear, so I answered the phone, and she's like, hey, tell your ex to stop hitting me up, and you just don't talk to me again. Click.
Damn.
I'm like, what?
Wow.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Did you call her back?
What do
Did you call her
I
back?
Did. I sure did. Got
And-
ignored. Got
Oh,
ignored.
shit.
But
Have you guys talked since then?
Oh yes. This don't worry. It gets better. Don't worry. It gets better because this isn't that the first time she texted her wasn't even the picture.
Okay.
The first time she texted her was literally just, hey, blah blah blah. I'm still kind of have feelings for my ex, but we broke up and we ended on good terms. I want you to treat him well. If you really look back at the text, and I've looked back at it, like not recently, but like after the whole situation went down, I looked back at it, and the first text she sent wasn't really that bad. It was kind of just like, hey, like I care for this guy. I know he
Nah,
doesn't care
that's
for me.
super bad.
No,
that's
it's-
like evil ex-girlfriend.
That's
It's
pretty
bad,
evil.
but it's
That's-
it's
that's
not
borderline
as bad,
demonic. That's borderline
but-
Satanism.
but
Honestly,
it's
that's
not
pretty
as
bad.
bad
That's
as like he's fucking me. Yeah, it's not as bad as like, hey, we just had sex last week.
No, any text
You know?
is bad.
You know, 100%.
Mhm.
And that's why I couldn't even get mad at the girl B. I couldn't even get mad at her because I was like,
Poor
yo,
girl
I feel
B.
you. Because if your ex would have hit me up yesterday and been like, yo, I still love her, but I want you to treat her well. Fuck out. Get out of here. Get out of here, bro. You know what I
Forget
mean? So
about
I
it.
feel it.
Forget about it.
So I feel it, but so I just flip a switch. I get really angry because I'm like, why are you even talking to him? Why is girl A even in contact with girl B?
Mhm.
This shouldn't even be. You guys don't. No.
There shouldn't be any crossroads to begin with.
It at all. At all.
Wait, I'm
So-
still waiting on the picture. Where did the
Yo,
picture?
yeah, we gotta
come
get
in?
to that.
No,
Yeah, we gotta
this
get
is-
to that. We got
this
other
is
things to
coming
talk
up-
about,
This
man.
is coming up right next.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is why the picture happened. So
Sure.
I get mad and I'm, yo, why did you do that? Blah blah blah. You're such a B. You're this. I'm angry. You know,
Hell yeah.
and which I should be. I have a right to be.
Problem.
Mm-mm.
But I tell her all these things, and she's like, okay, cool. That should have been my first warning when my ex was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
To
that's
me.
a red flag.
That was the whole point.
That's
That-
a that's
She
a
was
red
like,
flag.
okay, cool.
That's
All right, for
concerning.
sure. That's how you feel?
Mm-hmm. She wanted to, yeah.
No problem. No problem. I got
She
something for
was
you.
waiting for that.
Oh, she was waiting for it. She had it in the tuck. She
Bro,
had the
that's like
screenshot
that.
in the tuck.
Bro, that's Pusha T. That's what Pusha T did to Drake. Dissed him on infrared.
Send
Drake
some
dropped
shots.
Duppy.
I'm waiting for it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I went and I dropped the Duppy freestyle. She was like, "Oh, don't worry, I know you got a kid."
Oh shit.
Right, not like in our actuality because that's
No, go
what
ahead,
the
go
Drake
ahead.
thing. But so she was. As soon as that happened, she was just like, "Cool." Sent off the pictures,
Damn.
just full,
The
peen
full
in
send.
mouth, full peen in mouth.
Oh,
just like, hey, this is what we used to do.
Oh
Have fun.
dang.
That's
And I
foul.
was-
That's
and I
really
was
foul.
beside myself, you know.
That's pretty foul.
I especially now as I've gotten older, I try not to be as much of a violent nigger. But that was one of the moments I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill the bitch. Your dad." I didn't really mean it. Obviously, I don't. Nothing you could do could make me care that much. But I was like, "Your dad." I'm gonna
Wait,
beat
how'd you
his
find out
ass."
that she sent the picture?
Hmm?
How'd you find out that she sent the picture?
So
Girl B, I'm pretty sure told-
screenshot
Oh shit.
The
and
conversation.
was like, "Yo, your ex is wild," and I was like, "Yo, sorry."
That's pretty bad.
Sorry.
No?
Shit.
Has that ever happened to you?
No,
That's never
I
happened to
don't
me.
take pictures with my penis, but anyway.
Yeah, I don't either do that. I don't even do that
It was
either.
we
I
don't
don't
need
do
to get
that
into context, but
I don't do that either. Actually, that's pretty bad.
but there was one more development, and this is why God
Oh,
is
wow.
God is great. 'Cause there's
Oh,
one
wow.
more development in this story,
Go ahead.
probably 30 minutes before we started shooting. Girl B is pregnant now.
Which your-
For the,
No,
Which
not me. Jesus
Oh,
Christ,
oh,
no. This was
oh.
over a year ago.
this is my
Oh,
first
If
and
there-
last
this-
podcast.
This story was over a year ago. Hey, Jay's out of here.
What the?
Yeah, no.
With
this-
you?
no,
With you?
no,
Your
jeez,
baby
no,
daddy?
What are you talking about? Are you listening?
Congratulations.
Are you listening?
He's like,
Babies R Us is pretty much closed because Toys R Us closed, so Babies R Us following
God.
closed. But I'm pretty sure I could find something.
Mhm. Thanks.
Fisher Price, that's pretty old. It's a pretty old
Um,
company, but
Honestly, we're registered at Walmart, so if you
oh,
could,
okay, all right. So okay, wait, hold up. So girl B that you were talking to, that
is
you
now
were cupcaking
just got pregnant,
with,
but this story
with-
happened over a year ago.
Okay.
So this story, even if
does she have the child now? Or does she abort?
no, she is pregnant.
Now.
She is now with her new boyfriend, right, her new boo, her new man. She started a new life. This has nothing to do with me.
Oh wow.
God no. God no.
That's pretty wild. Man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And what's I wouldn't say great about that, but at least efficient about that is it leads us on to our next topic.
Go ahead.
Ah.
Yes.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you see what I did
Even
there.
I didn't even realize that, and then
yeah,
that's
see what I did
crazy.
there. Which is Alabama abortions.
Shit.
Speaking of,
Let's talk.
Woo! That's a. We could talk about
This
that.
is one that I actually wanted to talk about. So let's
Nah,
go. I mean, I like
that's
all
a lot
of
of
them, but
things.
this one, let's go.
here I had my time on the mic, so you guys take over. What do you guys feel about?
Okay, listen.
It's fucked up. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, if you is this
Clearly.
camera right here? If you helped vote, or you were the person in charge of making that as the law or whatever it is,
Eat my dick.
ready? Go fuck yourself. No, I'm not even joking. Like, for real. Like, that's just unbelievable. Like we're talking about. It doesn't matter what age you are. If you are pregnant, you cannot receive an abortion, even through rape or incest. Did we hear that, folks? Did everybody in the whole room hear that? Rape or incest. Okay.
Still will not grant you an abortion. No.
So it's just like, okay, what boggles my mind about this is that they all had to sit down and talk about it, right? You don't make law just like, okay, this law and this law. You have to delegate with your board members.
There's
with,
legislation. To
you
go
know,
through.
with the people. You have to speak on each law or each thing that's being passed for each town, city, state, country, whatever it may be, right? So these people, or if they're people even at this point, they had to come together and say, all right.
And not even people. Let's be more specific about those people. Old white men. Not women of various ages from various backgrounds. A bunch of old white men. Continue.
And they literally sat down together and was like, all right, I'm religious, okay? My dad's a pastor, right?
Very much.
So I am low-key pro-life, but with stipulations. We'll get to that in a little bit, right? So, yeah, I am pro-life. I feel like, it is, I feel like a life is a life for sure, but there are stipulations, though, right? There are factors, and like I said, I will get into that. But think about that, though, right? They were sitting down, and they were like, okay, we should be pro-life, right? We're a pretty Christian area. This is a pretty Christian area. We're all pretty, Christian, and life is very precious. So someone gets pregnant out of their own stupidity. Who are they to just abandon it, right? I mean, that's a life is a life, right? Who knows who that person can be? I can see that argument, right? I can agree with that, right? And I'm sure everyone's like, okay, yeah, sure.
Understandable.
Great.
Choice. So
Okay, and that's cool.
Yeah,
I
but
support
it's
that
at
too.
least an understandable
But
place to come from, right?
But then I'm sure somebody in that mix had to go like, wait, but what if they're raped? Or even worse, what if they're raped and it was the girl's dad or uncle?
Well, you got to think about it. Like, okay, so you said old white man. Like, how old are we talking?
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know
Let's just
numbers
say
specifically.
like 70, 80. Like when they were coming
Yeah,
up,
I'm
like
going-
things were different. Like they treated women different.
Yeah.
So it's no difference. Now,
That's true.
I
That
just
was
feel like it's shit that, it's stuff that's like to be expected.
But that's not.
That's so true.
It's and
It's
I
tough to be
understand
expected.
how those men get to those conclusions, but I don't understand what makes them feel like they have the choice.
What do
you
you
know?
mean they have
Yeah,
the
They're
choice?
like they have the because I understand they do physically have the legislative
Yeah,
power,
they make the law.
but it's not your body.
Yeah, like they're
It's
not.
not. It's
Like, how
it's-
could a man ever understand what a
Yeah,
woman goes
it's-
through and then make laws and make
I just
statutes
physically
and
couldn't.
things
This
about
is
it,
what
you
y'all
know?
don't understand. It's not just women; they do it for everyone. So any situation, because I mean,
You're
the
absolutely correct.
The position that they're in, they can't relate to the common man, but they make laws for the common men and women. So it's just like, for me, it's just not like everyone's going crazy. I seen it from a mile away, and everyone's acting like it's something that's new. Nah, bullshit like this has been going on.
I mean, that's true. It's just crazy how, because like this is not even about a race. Because I feel like in the news, what's been trending is like it's a race thing, it's an ethnic thing, it's
I think it is.
it's a sexuality thing. But now it's literally just like we're not even categorizing like certain groups of people. We're literally categorizing like what we talked about, like half
of our
of
society.
humanity, like women, like literally females. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So that's just unbelievable that a group of like 15, 20 men figured out what was appropriate for all the women in one state without even one woman in that board or in that meeting or in that, legislative, like deciding, whatever it is in that group to decide those things. So I just find that really appalling. Like that's pretty sad for people in Alabama, because now there's going to be a bunch of women who are going to get pregnant and
Wait,
they
time out.
decided
Wait,
that they don't
time
want a
out.
child.
So you don't think that men should be able to tell women what they can do with their body, correct?
I think that's pretty
So,
crazy.
right? So are you pro-life or are you pro-choice? Because if
Okay,
you're
okay,
pro-choice and you have that statement, it's a contradiction.
Great. Yes. So again, growing up like Christian,
Mhm.
growing up with like a belief in God and all that. I do believe in pro-life in the sense of like, like if you're like 19, 20, 21 and you get pregnant because, just because you got pregnant, like, I don't know. Like, again, I'm pretty sure people are going to bash me.
Question, are you pro-life or pro-choice?
Okay.
Do
The
you
base-
believe you
the-
can
okay, the base of
Can you tell that 18-year-old what to do with her body?
Okay. I see
Answer
what
the
you're coming
question,
from.
yes or no?
Okay. No.
Okay,
yes.
then you should be and if that's the case, then you should take the stance of pro-choice.
I mean,
Because
I'm not gonna mix it both. Because
You're just being a hypocrite. You're just being that same
Nah.
man. You're just being that same man that's saying, look, you shouldn't be able to tell a woman what to do with her body. At the same time, you're telling her what to do with their body.
okay.
You're saying, look, you should do this with your body unless this happens. That's the only thing you're doing. Unless you get raped. Unless this happens.
I would
That's the
I would
only
like to
thing
step
you're doing.
in because there are at least some times where at a point it's not about me telling you what to do, it's unethical.
Wait,
So
no, time
after-
out. Oh, that's a good.
So
unethical
after
to who?
Unethical to life because
No.
give me a sec
Okay,
to,
sorry,
to,
go ahead.
to expand.
Go ahead.
So after like a certain trimester, that's
That's
life.
I was trying to get to that.
You know what I mean?
After
a certain trimester,
because
that's life, bro.
because science is so like, you know what I mean, like okay, people are subjective to their own beliefs, right? Like what is
Yes.
a baby, what is life,
Mhm.
like at one point, like is a fetus a baby, like after like a few months is that a baby? My thing is like, okay, people say when they don't hear the first heartbeat. Okay, my opinion is I feel like the first 6 to 8 weeks, if you know you're pregnant and like you want to get a pregnancy, I feel like that makes sense, right? Go right ahead. I personally don't think that's considered like life at that point, right?
Mhm.
But I feel like if that's like an actual baby, there's a heartbeat, there's like it's actually formulating, and then you abort it, I think that's low key an issue.
And I think that that's not your fucking business. You don't have the baby.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Well, and I
I'm
know,
just
wait, time out.
saying.
I'm not even trying to come at you. I'm
I
just
know,
saying,
I
like,
know
that's,
you're not. I know you're not.
But
It's
look,
just,
if you're gonna take the stance that you shouldn't tell women then you shouldn't tell women. You can't flip and flop. It's one or the other.
It's not a
Wait,
flip
time
and
out.
flop.
And I
no,
feel
but
like,
I feel like life with life.
Okay,
it
time
is.
out.
You can
No,
have factors
I
because
feel you.
it's not just black and white with that.
What you guys are getting misconstrued is that one of the reasons why this is so like why pro-life is such a big thing. I feel like is the strongest reason is probably because of religion, Christianity, which I also feel oppresses women. Like that like I feel like the stance that you guys hold like is probably because you believe in religion.
Wrong.
That's kind of wrong.
False.
That is
I
false.
understand because for the majority of the country, I cannot say the same.
Mhm.
But objectively, using science, there's a point in which this is life and in which it is not. And that point is very easily like researchable.
And
Like,
and-
you know, like but between embryo to fetus
Mhm.
to, you know,
A
like
developing
to,
baby, yeah.
those stages,
what's
like
your
at
point?
some point, scientifically, at some point, it's not life. And scientifically, at some point, it is.
No,
and that's
I feel
why
like the
I'm
point
saying
of conception is life. No.
No, but again, that's subjective
No.
to you. You get what I'm trying to say? There's many people, many communities who believe in different things, like conception, that's life, or after 6 to 8 weeks, or the first trimester, that's life. That's why, again, like that's why we're having this conversation. You know, it's because we're trying to see.
because the reason I say life can continue without conception. So there are cases in which mothers die, and have not given birth, but there's a live baby in there,
Yeah, but
and that's a baby.
I get
Like,
what you're
and when
saying.
you take it out, regardless of how you take it out, it's alive, but if the mother dies within a certain point, the baby can't survive because that baby it's not life, in my opinion. And I could be wrong, and I'm open to other forms of information and other interpretations on it. But as far as I see, at the point in which the baby can still survive without this mother, that is the point in which it is life.
I get what you're saying, kind of.
You know what I mean? Like, that's because at this point, it's its own.
I get that, but I just feel like, like if we're talking about abortion,
and I understand
I
that.
still feel like
you have no choice. And at a point, I am hypocritical if I think about it.
No, of
because,
course. It's just facts.
That's at a point, I am hypocritical, and it's not based off of religion, but I would like to say you can't tell a woman what to do with her body, but I can tell people what is, at least in my morality, right and wrong. But women are the only ones that give birth. So it's not, you can say people, but women are the only one that give birth. But I can at least make a judgment upon what is right and wrong. Away from the situation, and at a point it is wrong. Morally,
but just like Jay said, right? Just like Jay said, like what I believe is life, as far as conception or whatever trimester, that's subjective to me. What you believe is morally right or wrong is subjective to you.
It's not subjective.
It is subjective to you.
It's science.
And we're here.
No. Wait, morals and science are two different things.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. At some point, scientifically, this becomes life, which changes your morality.
No, I'm talking about like ethics. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and ethically.
In China, they eat dogs. It's not the ethics that we have here. We don't do that. We think it's horrible. It's a normality over there. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, ethics, I feel like it's really just up to the person and how they roll. So I feel like if a woman feels as if that she needs to get an abortion for whatever reason, it could be money, it could be if she don't want to have a baby at the time, it could be she got raped. If she doesn't want to have that baby, I feel like that's her right to say, hey, I don't want to have this baby.
And look, for me, it's like, I'm not trying to offend any of the audience members or people who are watching, like, for a woman, you know what I mean? And like, really and truly, but what I'm trying to say is, like, okay, yes, if you are a woman and you have the baby, men can't understand that. Men don't ever have to go through that.
I will never understand.
It really should be leaning towards your decision because you're the one who has to go through the pain, all the stress, all the chemical imbalances.
If that's the case, then you should be pro-choice. What are you talking about?
You gotta let me finish, though, man. You gotta let me explain. But my thing is, though, is like, but is it right, though, where if it's like the 6th, 7th month and the baby's developing, and then now the woman's like, I don't want the baby anymore.
It's pro-choice. The baby has no recollection of itself.
And
the baby is going through no physical pain.
And also,
what are we talking? It's really pro-choice. That's the point of pro-choice.
And also in this choice, women can be wrong. You know what I mean? Like, and hold on, and hear me out, because I feel that's not a very popular opinion, and it sounds very bad, but you can be wrong. If it's your body, you can be wrong about whether this is life or not.
It sounds misogynistic.
It is. It does. But there's science to back it up.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no science
upon how babies are born.
Listen, there's no science.
I didn't go through health ed in
what
class
I'm saying is
to showing me the different stages.
I'm saying there's no science that says, hey, if a woman gets an abortion in whatever trimester that it's ethically wrong. There's no science behind that.
There's no science behind ethics. But
you get me, right?
Yeah, and but that doesn't mean they don't exist.
But they exist to you, and they're different from you than Jay to me.
Yeah,
and to any other woman that feels as if if she wants to get an abortion, she can, or if she doesn't, she ain't got to.
But and also, I'm just trying to sympathize for the views and for the and for the beliefs of people who think that, like,
I don't care about the beliefs of people.
That's why, like, you're not right. I mean, or wrong. Like, again, we're all collectively sharing what we believe is, like, right or wrong. And again, I'm not trying to say that people who get abortions are wrong. Like that. Like, I totally feel for those women who do that. But I just feel like there are factors, though, and there are stipulations to when
you can't just do that.
You know,
that's
just because it's your body.
Such a major operation.
That's like me saying just because it's my body, I can do whatever I want.
You guys are pretty much just like it. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but I feel as if, like, it's just hypocritical.
Okay, I'll explain it like this, and we'll leave it at this, and then hop on to the next part of the subject, because we're going in circles a little bit. I believe that you have the right to do almost whatever you want to, as long as it does not infringe upon the rights of others, right? So, if we're talking about the First Amendment, I have the right to say I hate you. I do not have the right to yell fire in a crowded theater, because that is no longer just affecting my life, it's affecting someone else's. So with that in mind, in abortion, it's not just your life. and you have as many rights as you have until they start to infringe upon the rights of others. And that
Sure.
baby is at some point scientifically the other. And you cannot infringe upon that person's right because it's inside of your body.
Yeah,
It's no long at a certain point, it's no longer
I feel
just
like
your
that's
body,
weak.
it's our body.
That's
So
weak.
like
no, because there's some
That's
states.
weak.
No, because there's some
No,
states.
at that point, the baby is a virus, and your body is the host.
No,
okay?
like-
yes,
Okay.
yes, because
Okay.
just
I'm just gonna skip on to the next topic so people don't get upset. So where do we go from here?
Oh, man,
So-
that's
so,
just the comments.
now-
are gonna
Hey,
blow
let's
up.
agree.
Now
Let's
that-
agree to let's agree to disagree.
Of course.
Yeah, that's
as
agree to
as
disagree.
as
Let's
we
agree
will
to
do a
disagree.
million times
Yeah.
throughout the course of
That
this
was good.
series.
That one got hot. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
I like
I
that.
like it. I enjoy it.
I like that.
enjoy
I
it.
like
You
that.
guys are still my friends at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
so now that we know how we feel,
Mhm.
and we all agree that this regardless of how we think the law should be tweaked, we all agree that it's wrong, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
Pro-choice.
If anything, we can say that this law is
Wrong.
unjust.
And just
100%.
inhumane.
So that being the case, where do you think we go from here? Because this is not something that's like the president, you know, like
Well,
the
I mean-
president. Here, give me a sec. Because like the president, we can choose the next one in 4 years, or actually next year. You know what I mean? But every 4 years, we get to choose that person.
Kinda.
Right? This is different because this is something that's going to eventually go to the Supreme Court, right? Which is something that we have as normal citizens no real control over, right? So, it's a weird conundrum because these aren't people. I mean, and in Alabama's case, yeah, it's going to be for the state, but they're trying to bring it federally so they can overturn Roe v. Wade, right? So they can overturn the entire ruling that said abortions are legal.
Mhm.
Is what they're this law is much bigger than just Alabama,
Actually, might happen too.
right? Oh, and it's looking like it's going to because Trump put the right people in place,
Exactly.
right? So where do we as people? What do you suggest that we do? Where do you suggest that we go now? I'll start with Domo.
To be honest, I'm not sure if we can do anything now about Alabama. I know that if it comes up in a state that you live in, that you just got to get out and express your right as a citizen and go
Protest.
vote for what you believe in your heart of hearts is the correct thing to do. I'm not sure if we can do anything about because if the case is already going up to the Supreme Court, I mean, you could petition. I think you can petition. I'm not sure like what you can do like legally to try to stop it though. I'm not
Not a
not
damn
sure,
thing.
but I know that if the same thing does happen in the state that you do live in, the only thing that you can do is just exercise your freedom to vote. And I feel like a lot of us don't. And when you don't, Alabama happens. So
getting out in 2020 is your answer.
getting
Yeah.
out in 2020 and voting,
Yeah,
get active.
voting. I mean,
Be
that's like the
proactive.
single most powerful like right that many Americans possess that don't do. Like
True.
that just straight up just don't vote. You know what I mean? So I
100%.
feel like if there is a cause, there's a person who has that similar cause, like go get off your ass. You know, go apply, go vote. You know, go make your voice said. No,
Yeah.
you know, make it heard. You know, what counts.
Matter of fact, look, if you're not even registered to vote, Pete, we are gonna drop a link right here. Go vote.
Pause. On 10.
I got that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I
Show.
got that, yeah.
All right. We can cut that.
Things to get attention.
All right. So, yeah, I stand on the same side as offense as you guys of this. We got to get out. We got to vote. I think the ratio is like 70% of Americans don't vote.
Mhm.
Like there's
That's
30% of us in these elections, and I'm positive if there are more people that think like us than don't.
Right.
You know.
But I mean, yeah. So just
So-
I feel you. But like, just the last little thing before we wrap this up, if we do, knowledge isn't power. You know, knowledge it just equips you. But if you don't act on it, right? So if we know that voting is going to change things, we know that, right? That's not
100%.
power. Actually going and doing it, executing the things that you know that are power. That's where it really comes into play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, knowledge
Absolutely.
knowledge without action is nothing but remorse,
Mhm.
and that's a saying that I've heard a lot
All right, yeah, let's keep the ball rolling.
Yeah,
Boom.
man.
What we got next?
So the final thing that we're gonna cover is going to be what people do for attention, man.
Oh, what people do for
Yeah.
clout.
Yeah,
Clout.
clout.
What people do to
Clout
flex.
chasers. We're talking to you, nigga.
There's a lot.
Yo, I scroll down my Instagram and I get so.
I'm
fucking
okay.
sad.
I'll jump start this one.
Dude,
I
please,
just don't like.
please.
I don't like the people who like are directly like inconveniencing or harassing someone else just for the clout.
What you
Like
mean?
my biggest pet peeve was when like these white boys would go
The pranks, right?
like, go to the hood, whatever it meant. Like it literally in the title it says like, you know, going to the hood and then X, Y, and Z. And it would be stuff like pulling pulling their pants up. Because I guess there's like that, you know, that
Yeah,
stereotype.
don't sag. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
that people in the hood they sag their pants.
Mhm.
You know, so
I've seen those videos.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Those are funny.
what are you doing?
Wait, time out. Wait, hold on.
You-
That was funny.
Like you coming up to me and pulling up, like you touching my pants and
Uh-huh.
pulling up to my bro. I'm gonna sock you. I'm gonna sock you.
We're gonna run it.
I'm
That-
gonna end you.
that's the
I'm gonna
risk you
fight
take.
you. Like, what are you
I-
touching my pants for? Because for some internet clout, like that's
Yes.
ridiculous. That's
I want to
ridiculous.
know how many people have gotten black eyes for the internet.
Thousands probably.
Think
I
about
hope,
it,
bro.
because they don't post the shiners. They don't. I
No.
know you don't, because the video stops when they say it's a prank. It's a prank. You know what I mean? But like,
While they're getting their face,
yo,
like,
some
literally
niggas,
beat
some niggas don't give a fuck about no prank, my nigga.
and clearly on
my
YouTube,
shit,
you can see
prank my
like,
face.
they're
nigga,
literally
what's up?
screaming, "It's a prank!" as they're getting hit again,
yeah,
and
like,
again and again.
mom
So it's
done.
just like, if you're literally disrespecting, stereotyping, inconveniencing, harassing a party of people or an individual just so that you can acclaim some sort of fame
Clout.
or a clout or
More
flexing
views,
or
more
your,
likes.
yeah, your content, whatever it is. That's just wrong, man.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but I mean, me personally, I like to play devil's advocate. There could be negative in it, but also there's always like there's two sides to every equation. You get what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm doing this to get a certain amount of clout or whatever the case, but it's because I'm broke. I need some money. Woo, woo, woo. But what y'all don't understand is negative, positive. No matter what you're doing, somebody's gonna look at that content that you're putting out, and they're gonna say, "Oh, well, I like this." Like, what do people do for attention? What do people do for attention?
But like,
You get what I'm
but
saying?
thing is paying your bills worth like discriminating and like making someone look worse?
We live in the we literally live in the age of attention span. So that's all we're trying to do is grab attention, whether it's Instagram,
and if it's
whether
negative, and if it's like downplaying a stereotype, so you want some dude
regardless.
pulling up your pants just
Well-
because he thinks you're from the hood.
Well,
to get
what
some
I'm saying
views?
is,
like,
what I'm saying is, there's a balance. Who like, there's no blueprint.
I'm
to
saying doing things to grab attention is fine. Well, all I'm trying to say is, as long as you're not stereotyping, discriminating, hurting, harassing, like inconveniencing someone else.
Nah, fuck that. I'll
That-
take it
that-
too.
that-
I'll
that's
take
what
that.
makes for the best content.
Nah, I'll take that.
So
No,
someone
that's
so
what
if
makes for the
someone
worst
disrespected
content.
you would be cool with that, just so that
That's-
they could flex on you real quick.
I probably wouldn't be cool, but a million viewers who didn't get harassed is like, damn, that was low key funny. Like what?
Yeah, nah.
What?
So I'm
Are
gonna take
we
it. I'm gonna take
serious?
it. I'm gonna take it even
That's
farther.
no.
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna take
go
it.
ahead.
I'm
go
gonna take
ahead.
it even farther
Yeah,
than
I'm
Jay
tripping.
because
That's a
Jay goes up to like the harming and harassing people. Yo, you even doing dumb shit. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Like what?
I'm hold on. I'm tired of it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I feel you,
I'm
Sam.
tired of seeing some fucking long neck ass nigga say and do stupid shit online with some nigga who looks like, and please, the second nigga, don't find me. I don't want no smoke, you big neck ass nigga. I'm not gonna fight you. I ain't gonna do shit, but you're dumb. And I'm tired of scrolling down my timeline and in between seeing actual funny memes, seeing fucking videos of some niggas doing some shit that makes literally no sense. Nigga with the juice box, cut it out, nigga. I
Yeah,
don't give a
'cause-
fuck.
'cause
Get
we're
your
lo-
juice
Keep
box
doing it,
and your
Mr.
Minute
Juice
Maid
Box.
and your
Hey,
bitches with the
keep doing
jiggling
it, Juice
titties
Box.
out of here, bro. I don't give a shit.
Keep doing
And
it.
I'm not even jelly. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I feel it. You might think I'm jealous. Oh, hey, he
Sound
gets more
jealous.
views than you. He has more likes than you, bro. I don't give a fuck about likes.
I mean, yeah, like what's the point of me
I
going
don't
to
give
like
a
a
fuck.
Walmart and like taking like 3 packs of ranch and throwing it on the ground,
Yo,
and
fuck
making a
that.
mess,
The
and I'm making
views.
people.
I'm
The
just tired of seeing
views.
it.
The views,
Yeah.
That's-
fellas.
so-
Yeah, and I understand, but
the
I'm just tired of
views,
seeing
the
it.
money,
It's
like
dope. Yeah, I
It's a
understand.
harassing
what?
and
Hey, wait,
inconveniencing
time
other
out.
people.
What if I threw the look? What if I threw the things of ranch on the ground? Right, it gets 1 billion views, and I get a whole bunch of money just from throwing the ranch. Fuck that! I'm throwing ranch every time. I'm juice boxing.
With the cost
all that,
of
I'm pulling
making-
people-
With the cost of other people cleaning
I
that
don't
up
give-
and being like, "Wow,
Hey,
thank you for like ruining."
He
like,
cleaned it up, right? I break him off at $100. That's more than he made for the night.
Nah. Okay. Well, let me speak on me. Give me a second to explain
Go
myself.
ahead.
I think it's so important that every person in this life leaves a legacy, right? Everyone leaves a legacy, right?
Yeah.
So I just don't think that's conducive to the person, to the community, or to the audience, or to whoever's watching, that in order for me to gain some kind of fame, some kind of traction, some kind of following, I have to do dumb shit on the internet for people to do that. And that could be stereotyping. That could be literally inconveniencing workers or other people, harassing people. Like, for example, like Boonk. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to hate
Who?
Boonk Gang.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm not trying to create wars.
Nah,
But
I
yeah,
am
let
trying
me
to
just
talk
run
shit.
to a
Fuck
li-
you, nigga.
Let me try to run to Little Caesars.
Nah,
grab
nah,
3 pizzas and
nah,
grab-
nah,
oh,
nah,
Boonk
nah,
Gang,
nah.
I'm
I
I'm
am
so
trying to talk
funny.
shit. Fuck that
I'm so
nigga.
cool. I stole 3 pizzas.
Y'all sound like haters straight up.
That's crazy. So
Y'all
You
sound
damn
like
straight.
Steal
haters.
3 pizzas.
Wait,
for
time
clout?
out, time out, time
No,
out.
you damn
gonna
straight.
steal things
You
for
damn straight.
clout?
I'm hating.
Wait, time out.
I'm hating.
Can I
100%.
answer the question?
I'm hating.
Yeah.
Can I answer the
I'm
question?
hating.
I'm hating on you
Hell,
too.
What's up?
y'all
That's
What's
haters.
poppin'? I'm
And
hating.
at the same, but what y'all gotta understand, this
Tripping.
is
What's up?
this is
What's
the
poppin'?
point. All publicity is good publicity. So
Huh?
y'all hating on him is just like, who's Boonk Gang? Who's grabbing juice boxes? Oh, let's go click on their link, bro. I'm telling you,
Nah, I
this
don't
is
click on shit.
exactly, Wait,
No.
time out. You made a fairy tale statement. Everyone should have a legacy. First of all,
And that's your
First
legacy,
of
being
all-
a fucking idiot?
hold on. Let me explain.
Oh, I steal
Ooh,
pizzas.
talk about it,
I
Jay.
can't wait till my kids see my videos of me
Hey,
stealing pizza for
Hey,
clout.
wait, time out. Let Big Daddy elaborate for you. First of all legacies aren't great ones. Legacy, like Boonk Gang has a legacy for the dumb shit that he does, right?
And for what?
Wait, who cares what it's for? If it's not yours, what the fuck? He making money however he is.
So that's
We in
okay?
That's how you want to make money?
Time out. We in this position trying to make our money, trying to do us. What the fuck? Who am I to judge him?
Okay.
A real ass nigga.
No.
That's
no.
who I am. That's
you
who I
a
am.
hater,
That's
you
who
a
I am.
No.
hater.
Oh yeah,
No.
that doesn't. Yeah,
No.
yeah, you're right.
Hating.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah,
but
go.
does that mean I'm not a real nigga?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
We can relate this to
when
hip
it's-
hop.
when
We
it
can relate
hating-
this to hip hop,
Go
right?
I'm sorry.
ahead.
Am I missing
Go
something?
ahead. Related to
Am
hip
I-
hop.
Real quick.
Am I wrong?
Related to
No,
hip-hop.
real quick. Look at hip hop.
Go ahead.
Look at the music that is being generated to the masses, and is that helping young people? No, it's not.
Okay,
That's why
well,
we're looking
time
at
out.
people like J. Cole.
Okay, but
who is-
time out.
Listen, let me finish. Let me
Go
finish.
ahead, because you
We
sound
got people-
crazy. You sound.
No, we got people like J. Cole who is really trying to spread a message and a movement, and he don't have to talk about me getting hella bitches in the club and doing Xanax and doing promethazine
Let me
and this
speak
and
on that.
that.
Can
You
I
know
speak on
what
that? I get what
I'm
you're
saying?
saying.
Let me finish though.
Oh, I thought
And
you
it's
was
like
done.
you can leave a legacy, right? And try to make a positive impact without chasing things in order to reach clout. You get what I'm trying to say?
Time out. I totally understand what you're saying. I'm not saying these are things that I would do, but it's like, bro, you got to do what you got. The thing about hip hop is it's not about the people coming up talking about Zans, it's not the rappers. If you mad at somebody, don't be mad at the rappers, be mad at all the white distributors that distribute all the crazy music so the little kids can be dumb strung.
But
out
who's
their
making
mind.
the music?
No.
Time out. It's the distributors. You know how
But
many-
who's making the music?
you know how much good music there is?
You can't distribute music unless someone makes it. They're making it. They're constantly saying, "Oh, if I make a song about Zan, Molly, let me get lit in the club." Then the white distributors or whoever can make them. So it's your choice ultimately.
No,
Do
no,
I
no,
want to
no,
make
no, no.
music like that so people can like spread that?
Okay, but look, this is what I'm telling you. There's like 5 main media companies that control all
I
media.
know that.
Correct?
I know that.
So
Yeah,
if I'm controlling all the media that I put out, then I get to grab like, ooh, I want this in there. I want this in there. So you could grab the good.
But
you could
at
grab
Yo,
the
we
bad.
can't affect those. Yo,
But
hold
my
up,
thing
hold
is,
up.
what cost though? At
How
what
you mad
cost?
Yo,
At what cost?
Because real quick, like, I understand what you're saying, but there's a couple things,
Go ahead.
and we're gonna get off this, and we're gonna wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
So, firstly, at what cost? You know,
Money.
no. That's the physical value of the commodity you're exchanging right now. But what is the cost of what you're doing to our culture, to our kids? Because there are millions of kids online who are looking at this shit and going, "Oh, so I just have to do crazier and crazier stuff to get online."
And real quick,
And like, and these kids don't realize this is gonna follow you for the rest of your life. Now we are no longer in an age where we can just do things and post them and write about them and talk about them and they'll go away. We do not live like that anymore. Period.
All right, for sure.
So this is and I understand for those single individuals who are doing this, go ahead, you do you, and I understand, I understand you saying, "Oh, they got to do what they got to do," but so did drug dealers.
But look
So
what
did
that's doing to people.
and look where that got us as a society.
You know who put
Like,
the drugs in the community?
That's another.
That's another topic. We can get into
That
that
is a
later.
whole different conversation.
You
Yo,
already know.
that is a whole
Wrap it up.
different conversation.
Alright,
But-
okay.
But yeah, so
That's it.
all I'm trying to say is we have to look at the image that we're putting out to the youth and the image that we're putting out for our future selves. Because in 20, 30 years,
Hallelujah.
I bet Boom Gang is going to be tatless trying to work at a grocery store bagging groceries because he did all the stupid shit he did as a 20-year-old.
Mhm.
And
For sure.
in 30 years, we don't get this right now, but in 20, 30 years, it's going to be done.
Okay.
God.
And
That's
with that being said,
Thank
we're
you.
going to wrap up this first
That's a
episode.
wrap.
This
Thank
was a
you. First
The
podcast.
great
Garage Podcast.
First podcast. Thank you.
first one. Let's get a round of applause. Hey, I'd like to give a special shout out to everybody in front of the camera, my guys, my two co-hosts. I would like to give a shout out to Alchemy Visuals, our
Yes, sir.
production company, who's done such a great job keeping us on the point of what we need to be doing and going in the direction where we need to be going.
All right.
So without any more that needs to be said, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe so you can see all of our latest content right here
Right
at the
now.
Garage Podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Don't make a life, don't take a life, guys. Have a good one.
Even.
All right.